Are we live? Yeah. Why do we hear the echo?
Hold on. I know why.
Guys, we are live for our second show. Number 2 is happening. We're getting a crazy weird echo thing. I don't know if you can hear that,
How's that?
but it was tripping me out a little bit. But now I can't hear it anymore, so that makes me happy.
There we go.
Anyway, Craig, how you feeling?
I am dealing with our technical difficulties right now. So I'll be fine in just a moment as soon as we have everything up and running.
As we get all those little pieces going. Well, guys, we're super excited.
Is complicated.
Going live is complicated.
There's zero.
Well, let's put it this way: it doesn't have to be.
Man.
But what fun would that be if we made it easy, right?
Yeah. We want the best.
We only want the best. So, guys, we are coming at you. You could either be watching this right from Facebook or from our YouTube channel. We got both going on, which is super exciting. Of course, we've got some crazy things behind the scenes making that happen. So glad you are hanging out with us on this beautiful Thursday. You know, I was just filming with Holly, our super coach, and, we were getting a little tan out there on the track. It was kind of nice.
Oh, yeah?
Poor Craig was stuck inside working on tech things. Craig was not getting a tan.
Yeah, so we have so many cool announcements for you guys this week. Let's just kind of make sure we're up and running. Guys, if you can hear us, just chat in the comments with us. Let us know that everything is working all right. I'm trying to check it out so we can see your comments.
Yeah, we always like those comments. Those are always super fun to get those things going. And first of all, we got to, hit our first initial little announcement here. Are they just seeing our little screen? Or are they seeing our pretty faces?
Yeah, hold on. I'll change it so you can see us.
Let's go see our pretty faces.
There we go. Go here. Go there.
There we go. Look at that. So much better.
There we go.
Wait, where's the cool thing on the bottom that says like live show? Yeah, there we go. I love that.
All right.
That's my favorite part.
Done. We're here.
That's my favorite part right there.
All right. Finally, now we're here. Now I feel like I'm done. We can settle in, answer your questions. Bob Green says you can just see the screen. Mark, how does a brother purchase? I like that.
A t-shirt.
Easy, Mark. I will put that up on the screen right now, but it's store.therunexperience.com.
Yeah. Guys, we announced last week that we're doing our t-shirts. We're super pumped about the design with them. We partnered with Territory Run Company. And they're out. Where are they out again?
Portland. And we love Territory Run. If you guys don't want to check out their site, it's territoryrun.co. Yeah. If you go to store.therunexperience, that's where our t-shirts are. But Territory has a lot of different stuff, and we love their stuff because it is soft and comfortable. and really, like, they're runners. Like, they are a running company and not a t-shirt company. I mean, they're a running brand, and so we really enjoyed working with them, designing our new t-shirt. And yeah, we're really happy to offer it for you guys. I'm actually waiting for mine to arrive, so hopefully next time you see us, we'll be in the t-shirts.
Yeah.
But if you order it now, we're gonna ship out the first
week of June.
So yeah,
which is only a couple weeks.
Put your order in, and hopefully you guys will be able to grab a couple of those.
We got all the sizes. We ship everywhere. Definitely represent. This is kind of a limited run design. We're not really sure what's going to happen after this, so get that order in now to get this design. Because after a while, we're pretty sure that design's probably going to go away.
Yeah, no, for sure it is. So we're gonna be doing t-shirts on a limited run basis. So we're gonna have this t-shirt, and then we'll design a new one, and then there will be a new Run Experience t-shirt.
So, a new Run Experience t-shirt.
Which means that if you guys have ideas of types of t-shirts that you want, or I've been thinking even of having maybe a cap. I don't know anybody that wears caps.
I don't know anyone who wears hats. It's definitely not me.
But yeah, so. Kedar says, love the idea about the new t-shirt. Fantastic. Guys, so one, if you guys have questions, you've been watching our YouTube videos, if you have stuff that you've seen on Facebook, stuff that's coming out, maybe you're in one of our programs and you have questions, now's the time. We're happy to answer it. And then in terms of, should we go ahead and talk about one of our secret announcements?
Let's go into one of our super secret announcements. Those questions will come in as they always do, and we will always address them. But we want to get first into this thing just to make sure things are happening. We got a invited to go to New York City in next week.
Yeah.
We leave on Sunday.
So we actually won a YouTube award competition. It's called the Next Up Award. It's given to channels that are growing fast and are really offering something to the community. And what we get out of it, which is going to be great because you guys get something out of that as well, is that we get trained in New York in their creator space for a week. So Nate and I are flying
this
out
is
there.
like super geeked out camera camp.
Oh, yeah.
Craig is so excited.
I'm so excited about this.
This is like lenses and
Production
aperture
sets, lighting.
and audio, all that stuff.
The cool part is one of the things that we're going to be doing is more reviews. A lot of you guys ask us questions about what about this hydration kit, this vest, or this pair of shoes, or this gel that I'm trying out, or whatever it is. And what we're going to start doing is getting that stuff and trying it out ourselves and let you know what we think. Somebody was just emailing me the other day about a sleeve for his knee that he created because he couldn't find one that was meant for runners.
Go figure.
Yeah. So he's going to send us a couple of
Are you going to review the knee sleeve?
I think you're going to review the knee sleeve because I just have never really needed a knee. I mean, I'll try it on for sure, but some of these things are going to be like, what we really want to establish is that we're going to try everything, and really let you know what it's about. We have a lot of companies that are contacting us about a lot of different things after we met them in Boston.
Yeah.
So what we're telling them is, if you want us to review something, we're happy to.
Who's gonna be the major review person?
That's me.
This guy right
Yeah,
there,
you're finally going to see my face on our channel more. Like it or not.
Yeah.
So
They'll get used to it, like I have.
Our first question, right? Used to me being behind the camera. Usually I'm on the other side of this right now. So I saw our first question come in from Tim Chu saying, is it possible to prepare for a marathon in 2 months' time? You want me to take this?
I feel like you've maybe done this before.
I have a lot of different answers for you, Tim, because one, I wrote this section of our marathon guide.
That's right.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Marathon training, like any race, is not a one-size-fits-all. What we try to tell people is that if you're training for a marathon, what we like to see is a year of regular running before you even attempt it. And the reason is, if you start running and you're inevitably going to have things that come up, because if you just started running, your body's not used to that sort of workout, that sort of kind of beating that you're giving it every day, or even 3 times a week, whatever it is. So what we'd like to see is at least a year of like putting time. Now, that doesn't mean you can't do races. You can do 5Ks, you can do half marathons, you can definitely get into it. Now, can you do it in less time than that? Absolutely you can. The thing is this, anytime you actually are taking on a big goal like that, you're running some risk because you are putting your body through its paces, and and so what we think is, look, if you are into running, take the time to actually build your body up to a point where you can do it healthfully. Now, lots of people go to the end of any marathon, and you can see a lot of people dragging themselves across the finish line. And did they finish a marathon? Yes. Are they healthier? It's debatable, and that depends on your genetics, your athletic background, how much you've run before, a lot of different things.
Yeah, it is good to remember, like, we can survive a 26.2 mile run or hike or anything like that. And if your friends wanted to send you out tomorrow, it might not be the prettiest thing in the world, but you could do it.
Yep.
But just as Craig was saying, like, hey, why are we going after this marathon? Is this something about a goal to make us healthier and to push us some way? Well, let's choose a goal and train for it in a way that's actually going to accomplish those goals. Because just as Craig said, if we train for this thing too fast or too quickly, it's going to get a little ugly real quick. So that's one of the things we want to avoid. Hey, Craig, could we get rid of this guy?
Oh, yeah,
that is like super. So Craig and I have very different computer styles. I'm very minimalist in life, and I like to have like one window open at a time.
Just look at how much I get done, though. Okay?
Craig has all the
productivity
windows
thing.
on his computer, and it's freaking me out.
Everything. I've trimmed down because we're streaming, so this is like a reduced.
He's trimmed down to 49
Hey,
windows.
Look, we have over 90,000 people on our Facebook page.
Hey, oh, snap. Look at that. We got 90,000 of you guys. Amazing.
Thanks, guys. That's amazing. Guys. Tell your friends. Okay, so I want to address a couple different things that are coming in here.
We got a few other questions.
Yeah, so Mark says caps are sweet. cool, Mark. We'll definitely, if you guys are like this stuff, we'll definitely take it into consideration for our new gear. Gary says, I'm working on the pigeon hold. I'm guessing he means pigeon pose.
Yeah.
We'll take time. Downward dog also, but at least I'm doing it. Fantastic. You're absolutely right. If you're doing the work, that's the most important thing. Don't think of it as an end goal of like getting your hips to the floor. Think of it as you're maintaining your body and like opening up yourself.
Are you all zen and process on us right now?
Guys, I meditated this morning.
Did you?
I'm on like a streak of like 9 days in a row.
That's pretty good.
Oh, something I do want to talk about. You ready for this?
Yeah. How you feeling right now?
I'm feeling great because I've been up since 5:30 a.m.
This is totally new for Craig. Oh my god.
Okay, so this guy gets up at what 4? Don't even tell me. I want to feel good about myself. He gets up early, and you know I have been in the tech industry for a long time. I thought getting up at like 6:45, 7 o'clock was like
winning.
super. I was like always way ahead of the game. Then I start hanging out with this guy, and he gets up at like 4:30. And so by the time he comes over and like we start working, he's been awake for hours.
I've already had lunch.
Anyhow, so I did my first sunrise run. Territory Run actually put on a sunrise run here in San Francisco, which was great. And I had to get up at like 4:50 in the morning to make it there. It was beautiful. I came back. I was like just hanging out in the morning, watching the sunrise, everything. It was great. So I've now done
that early morning air.
I got like an early morning buzz is what it was, and so now I've gotten up at 5 o'clock for the last 3 days.
Really?
Yeah, and I've been running early, and it's amazing because I'm basically trading the time. I used to go to bed at like 12:30, get up at like 6:45 roughly. Now I'm going to bed at 10:45 yesterday, getting up at 5, same amount of sleep, so I feel fine. But the hours between like 11 and 12, I've realized like I'm really kind of a bump on the log. I don't really do much.
Yeah.
But the hours between like 7 and 8, where I usually kind of gain that hour, it's pretty good.
Pretty primo time.
Yeah, I mean, Nate came in this morning into the office and I was sitting down playing the guitar. I was been awake. Had my green smoothie already.
Did you have your yogurt water in the green smoothie?
I had my yogurt water. I'm all out of yogurt water now.
Oh no.
If you guys didn't tune in last time, I make this high-fat yogurt that I learned the recipe from Peak Yogurt, if you want to look that up, Peak Yogurt. And
that is delicious.
Such good stuff. And so I make this high-fat yogurt at home, and then the extra like whey I put into my green smoothie in the morning. It's amazing. Okay.
Amazing.
All right, so we got more questions coming in. Let's not diverge.
Let's not go too crazy. Leo asks, what do you guys think about compression shorts or socks, and what brand do you recommend?
I think we should. Okay, so we're gonna do a video on this because we get this question so often.
Yeah.
Right. So if you guys have brands that you like us to like look at and review, sure. But
do you run a lot with them? Because I really don't.
I don't. And so I think it's the same as we talk about most gadgets in this arena, right? Which is if you're doing it to like solve a like you should be able to run without a compression sleeve or without compression socks and be fine. There are extreme circumstances, like people like it for increased like blood flow and stuff in like really long races.
There are certain uses, right? Yeah. Like for travel, you know, like for those guys who came out of the Boston Marathon. What's up, Lee?
Hi, Lee. How's it going?
You're not late. You're right on time.
Absolutely.
Because you showed up. I would say that they're super handy for people who are wearing them post hard workout or race, especially if you're flying or you're in a car or anything else. Like those are a great idea to wear. I do know that especially in the longer races, a byproduct of just running for a bazillion hours is your feet tend to swell. Yep. And so wearing something there, talking to some ultra guys, they actually find that's really helpful to mitigate that compression. You know, the one thing I know that's difficult with all compression wear is that it loses its compression after a couple washes. So the compression you get initially is not the compression you get on the 5th or 6th wash. And then really what you're wearing are just some super stylish like shin things.
$50 socks, as Lee is saying. No one's going to persuade me to buy $50 compression socks. You know, like, look, there's a lot of stuff like this in the running world and in any, you know, kind of niche sport. Like there always are companies that come up and they have the new product, and what we say is like, running is beautiful because you really don't. It's really hard to say that you absolutely have. I mean, people do it without shoes, so like you really don't have to have any of these things. What I would say is like as much attention as you're paying to paying for different products like this, pay more attention to and put your resources, both time and money, towards bettering your body, because your body sticks with you. Compression socks, either you have to replace them, whether they work for you, whether they don't work for you. But what we can say is when you put your time and resources towards like mobility and injury prevention and your form work, all the stuff that we talk about day in and day out, that's where you really get returns. And, you know, it's less about all the gadgets, you know?
Yeah, I would probably say that compression wear is probably that like last percentage point or half a percentage point, but we don't want to ditch all the other stuff in the meantime. What else we got here?
I like this question. As a beginner runner, Cliff says, if you could go back to when you started running and give yourself one piece of advice, it would be, okay, so first of all, I started running when I was 9. Yeah.
Do you remember what you would have told yourself?
I used to
play more tag.
So yeah, exactly. I used to start off recess by running a mile.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I always give the story that like no kid in elementary school is going to jog around. Like they're going to run and sprint and play. But you were that kid who would jog around.
Ask anybody. There's probably some people on here, like on my Facebook page, or that might be on here. Like if you ask anybody I went to elementary school with in Indiana, I used to start recess and run a mile. In fact, sometimes they'd even take different shoes with me. I'd run a mile because I was so keyed up about like the mile in gym class. It was like the day for me. And so like the idea of losing that was too much. So like I had to like prepare myself. And so by the time that day came around, I was old hat. I mean, it would be,
man.
Yeah.
So you just crushed those 9-year-olds.
But the advice
so I wouldn't follow that advice.
Yeah, don't follow that advice. That's not advice. No, what I would say is that as a beginner runner, the one thing I would say is that running is one of these sports where as beginners, a lot of times you will go to the edge of your ability every time you put your shoes on, right? So an example of that is, let's say that you really haven't run that much before, but you can run about 2 miles, right? And the temptation is to go out there and be like, okay, I can run 2 miles, so I'm going to run 2 miles, and then tomorrow run another 2 miles, and the next day maybe I'll try for 2.5 miles. And people stay on the edge of their ability, and I think that is a really dangerous scenario, because if I asked you to go play basketball, it's unlikely that you're going to go play basketball until you can't lift your arm, right? That's just not how people do it. But with running, sometimes people believe that this is the way to get better.
So they're always going to the absolute end. That's what you mean by edge of your ability. So they're just like, they're literally like every run is their longest run, and they're just crushed by it.
Yeah, and we have a beginner running program very specifically because as a beginner, it's really nice because you're carving out your career as a runner, right? You're just molding yourself into the runner that you're going to be, and you may have bad habits, but they're not set in stone as yet. So it's a good time to like get some advice around the mobility that you need to run more healthfully. Get some advice around the strength that you need. Running is we always say it's like an endpoint to your athleticism, right? Like you do all these things in your life or you don't do them. For example, like if you're sitting down all day, right? Like we're sitting down now, there's an effect that has on your athleticism and your running. So what you should look at is, how can I prepare my body to earn the miles I'm about to run? And this is TM, earn your miles. Earn your
miles. You know, I would say to add to that, with just beginner runners, the running identity is so empowering, and we like to jump into it with both feet at full speed. And it's just good to pump the brakes a little bit and to really add workouts that are non-running specific in there. So if you are a runner, you're a beginner runner, and you're going in, the thing that I would have said to myself in the beginning was probably not go too crazy in the running in the beginning, and to keep some other workouts in there too. And, you know, maybe commit to running 2-3 days a week, adding some other stuff in there, and then, you know, slowly building up. Following a plan is actually really great there. And we actually just filmed a video of this, Holly and I, because a plan is going to, you know, at times hold you accountable, maybe push you when you need that push, you're losing a little motivation. But the other thing it's going to do when you're beginner runners, when you're super excited and you want to go out, as Holly said this morning, even though you've just run 4 days in a row, it's actually going to force you to maybe recover and rest and do something else.
Yeah, I mean, go onto our YouTube channel, type in beginner running, and we have a bunch of videos there that start out with some of the kind of advice we give you there that we don't have time to get into now. And then those some workouts there you can try out. But if you're ready for something, like if you're saying, hey, like I really want this I'm really ready to start. We have a 30-day program. It's part of our training club. We can talk about it more later. But you join our training club, you have access to all that stuff. And I mean, obviously, this is going to be our advice because we created the program specifically to answer your question. Like, as a beginner runner, what should I do? What you should do is all of our advice in the program. But if you want to just try out, like, for free, our YouTube channel has lots of stuff, and we always try to put out a lot of content for you guys there. And when you're ready for a program, then jump at the training club.
Yeah. Guys, if you're just tuning in, we are taking your questions. We are hanging out with you. We do this live show so that we can connect with you guys directly and obviously give you some updates on what we got going on. What do we got?
Diana is signing in from Trinidad and Tobago.
Oh, that's awesome.
I
don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't know. But thanks, Diana. Like, let us know when you guys are. We have a bunch of people on here live, both on YouTube and Facebook. Shoot us your questions. For some reason, our YouTube guys, everybody's on YouTube, is asking lots of questions.
Yeah.
Facebook, where you guys are silent. So let us know. Next question.
Let's see here. So Troy says, do you recommend running with mild shin splints? I always seem to get mild shin splints and get overly cautious with my injuries, which stalls my training. That's interesting, Troy. I'm dealing with something a little similar. A lot of times that mild form of shin splint, we want to see, like, are the shin splints on the way up or are they on the way back down? And hopefully if they're on the way back down, what I would do is maybe a little bit more calf and ankle specific warm-up before you go out. I've been playing around with a lot of single leg balance, ankle circles, little like ankle pumps, walking on my toes.
My favorite one I actually got from our coach Kirk, which is where you take you're laying on the ground and you're kind of like in a modified pigeon position, the little crossball sandwich. So you have one ball on one side, one ball on the other side, and you're kind of compressing and rolling. That totally worked for me. It's going to be different for everybody depending on what, shin splints are basically you overworking your muscle and then your muscle's swelling and pushing against that flat shin bone. And the muscle swelling could be for any number of reasons, but a lot of times it's being overworked because because of the way you're running or because you've increased mileage at a quick pace. But you can help damper that by treating the muscle well. And part of that is self-massage. We actually have a video. I'm trying to figure out where to push them, but I'm almost positive if you put in shin splints on our YouTube page, you'll find.
Yeah, we have a shin splints
I'll
video.
see if I can bring up a photo of that.
Oh, hey, technology! Yeah. I don't know how you can navigate with all these windows.
I know, right? That's horrible.
Can you get ready? You and me in a hotel room for a whole week in New York City.
Oh my God,
it's gonna be great.
I've arranged other accommodations for myself.
So with the shin splints, the other thing I would tune into, is it a speed thing that lights you up a little bit? Is it a hill, very terrain thing that lights you up? And just being sensitive to that, trying to stay consistent. Probably running a mile less than you otherwise could is not a bad idea for really helping there for sure.
Okay, so the video is called 3 Injury Prevention Exercises for the Lower Leg, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about.
So you're going to do a little screen grab or something?
Yeah.
Here. Do you want to turn the sound off?
Sound's already off. I just need to grab it. Anyhow,
anyway.
So do you listen to music audiobooks on the Long Road Suggestions from Don McLeod?
I like that. I've gone through some different phases. Like when I was training for some marathons last year, I was really into different podcasts, and I would listen to This American Life and Radio Lab a lot, just really good stories for NPR. And I'm a big Tim Ferriss podcast guy. I always like to listen to his ones because they're like 2 hours and you dig in and they're pretty good. A one that I haven't listened to yet. Have you listened to Hardcore History?
Oh, yeah. Hardcore History is great.
That?
So Hardcore History is about like 5 to 8 hours for each series. So each podcast episode might be like an hour and a half, but you can kind of bite into it. It's Dan Carlin, yeah. So my favorite one there is Clash of the Khans, the Khan Dynasty.
Oh, I've heard it's amazing.
Almost nobody listening to this is like, oh my God, I've always wanted to know about the Khan Dynasty. I'm sure I didn't think that, but it is fascinating. If you like Game of Thrones, like you realize listening to Dan Carlin's podcast that Game of Thrones, the author pulled a lot of that stuff from actual history events. So you can look at, I'm not going to go into details about Game of Thrones, but it's fascinating. It is absolutely worth your time. So Clash of the Khans, you can get it on there, and it's really in depth. I really appreciate when people put that much attention into like a singular subject. Yeah, so that'll last you for like the next 3 weeks worth of runs.
That's kind of fun, right? Because those longer podcasts are great when you're actually doing a longer run. You know, sometimes runs that are only 20 minutes or 30 minutes long. Are we showing this thing?
All right, so
yeah,
guys, this is our coach Kirk, and he's demonstrating the kind of lacrosse ball sandwich here. I won't really play this, but you can basically, he's put one lacrosse ball on the bottom of his leg, and he's got another one. You can use a baseball, you can use a softball, you can use pretty much anything, but he's compressing that muscle, and then he's doing ankle rotations because he's kind of pinning the muscle down and then moving his ankle, and he gets some shearing force there that really, really helps kind of massage that tissue in a deeper way than you can get with just one. So, here you go.
Yeah,
Perfect, right? So
yeah.
I love this exercise.
I love Kirk's leg.
Yeah, Kirk's leg is now famous. So I'm gonna
Got a baseball and a lacrosse ball in there.
awkward segue on that, which is, if you would like to get a special edition,
What are we going?
lacrosse
Where are we going?
ball
Oh yeah.
run experience. There's one way I can think of, which is next week when we're in New York for that. For the YouTube award, which we're going to be there all week, we are going to
Camera
do
camp.
a Daybreaker Run at sunrise. Here, I'll show you, see if I can bring that up. I hear you talk. I'm going to...
Multi-process. Yeah, so guys, we are going to be in New York City all next week, and on Tuesday morning, we want to go running with you, and we are actually going to be posting up, Columbus Circle in right by Central Park.
Yep.
And we are going to do a little warm-up together. We're going to go for a run, a couple miles. I'm sure we'll see who's there, and if we need to, we could split up into slightly longer, shorter groups, all depending. And, we want to go for a run. We want to hang out, and we want to give you guys a pretty cool The Run Experience lacrosse ball.
Yeah, so we'll bring out some of those, like, just little toys for you guys. And also, we have done a couple of these in-person events now, and we love it because, we are on the other side of a computer. Okay, I can't find the event. But if you go to our Facebook page.
Go to events.
Oh, there you go.
This is the one area. You know what, guys? I'm always very proud when I can help Craig or show him anything in the tech space. It really brings me a lot of pleasure.
Oh, I was just there, and now you... Okay, well, here.
Was this the spot?
You can see the struggle.
You can see the struggle. The struggle is real, people.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have this thing. If you're not there we go. Daybreaker Run.
Okay, this is it. So it's Tuesday, May 23rd, 5:30 a.m., which means I will have been awake for about half an hour at that point.
That's true.
Yeah. And like I said, this is, hopefully we will do more of these events in the future, but yeah, we're going to be meeting in Columbus Circle. Nate and I will be there. Come meet us. We have about 10 people. 9-10 people are going to be there right now, and a bunch of people on the fence because they don't think they can get up early enough. You know what the beautiful part about this is? Nobody's busy at 5:30 a.m. There's no, like, I can't do this. Yeah. You know, just get up earlier. Go to sleep earlier.
You know what this is? This is the zeal of the recently converted. Of the early morning. Yeah, you're like, if I can do it, you can too.
I also have very little responsibilities except for running this business, so don't listen to me.
But yeah, guys, if you're there, we'd love to hang out with you, and go
and
New York.
You can find, if you just search for on our Facebook page for Daybreaker Run, you'll see it, and then you can sign on and come join us. If you are interested in doing this type of thing in your city, we're going to start talking about that. So send us an email, help@therunexperience, and we can talk about helping you host one of these in your own city and getting people there. Yeah.
Little TRE worldwide run hookups.
Yep.
I love it. One burpee and leg swing at a time.
Hopefully only one. Unless you're Nate and you can do one-legged burpees and leg swings without like touching a wall, and just, I don't know how you do it yet. So maybe you can show people.
I'm a pro. I'm a leg swing pro. I'm not pro in anything else, just that.
So I'm really super excited about this. I think one, I love doing stuff where we get to meet our runners, and we're gonna get some great. We're gonna probably get to meet you guys, maybe do some filming. It'll be great.
Yeah. Okay, so back to questions. Okay, Lee, we've been working on this. This is a good question. How do I figure out my training paces? Do I use a best time or average time for distance? don't run many races, ran a 5K a week ago, but not sure about using a 5K pace to work out marathon paces. What have you done, Craig, with this? Do you kind of eyeball this or?
So here's the thing is that I only try to worry about pace on certain workouts, because if you're worrying about pace on your long run, you're usually running too hard. If you're worried about, like, there are so many factors that go into your ability to sustain an effort. Let's see, can they actually hear me?
Yeah.
Sustain an effort that it's really, like, I don't like to adhere too strongly to paces the same way that I don't like to tell people go run 9 miles. I prefer to say, okay, like, go run for an hour and a half, because some days you get up and it's just not going to happen the way that it's prescribed. And what we like to tell people is learn to listen to your body first. Now, it doesn't mean that you don't have any guidance on pacing, because you definitely do need guidance. Where I would actually insert that guidance is more on things like intervals, tempo runs, even hill workouts. You can start to look at that type of thing and pay attention to things like your cadence, right? Like, you know, it's very tempting to be like, hey, I want to run a 3:30 marathon. I want to run a 4-hour marathon. And so therefore I'm going to, like, target this pace. But a lot of times you can target things around it, like your cadence, target things like, you know, I've run this hill so many times and it's usually a 60-second hill. Can I make it in this workout? I want to make it a 58-second hill or 57-second hill. And that type of thing is really putting the attention, I think, where you can sustainably go there. Where I don't like this to go is for people to be like, oh, you know, I ran that 5K last week and it was my PR. Let me take that time, add 20% to it, and now I should run all my long runs at this pace. Life just doesn't work like that.
Yeah, you know, and I know Lee is working on trying to dial in pacing almost from a sense of zones, right? Like what is like what if she is a certain time, like what should the ranges for her tempo runs be? If she's doing a speed workout, like what should that pace actually be? Like we want that feel, but it's almost like she's ready for that next level stuff. And, you know, Lee, there are a few things that's helpful. One is you could use current more recent races as benchmarks.
Yep.
You could run some sort of time trial, and you could get, you know, some data around those numbers. And this is where like pacing calculators come in. Now,
We can put a pacing calculator on our site. It's something to think about. I mean, they're useful in being able to calculate
and
it.
they're useful in that, like, we're clearly we're not ones to that, you know, promote slavish devotion to anything.
Yeah.
But I do find what's helpful, and Lee, I think where you're at is actually playing around with a pacing calculator and getting some zones, be like, hey, this is the speed of my tempo run, you know, within a 15-second minute mile range. This is my speed. This is my long run days. That's actually going to help you get to that next level of performance. It may not be 100% correct, but just by paying attention to that, I think that will be really helpful.
All right, so we had a couple different things here. There's a question: should you train differently for a road versus a trail half marathon? Some, yeah. I mean, the bulk of the training is gonna be similar, but definitely you want to try things like ascents and descents. You know, we have a article about, you know, developing stronger ankles for, like, you know, you need a lot more stabilization when you're doing trail running.
This is really just going to be the idea of more specificity. From the physiological standpoint, Craig is right. You know, you still need to go out there and do your different varied runs, but the terrain on which you do those runs is really going to change. And if you're someone who runs flats all the time and you do this super technical hilly trail, you're going to get crushed. Vice versa, if you live on the trails and you go out to the mountain, or you go out to the road, like, you're gonna feel terrible running that same movement pattern with, like, the road on the berm a little bit. That's no fun either.
Yeah, totally. Let's see. Lance, Newman, California. You're right. I don't know where that is, but, you know, it can't be that far away.
Google Maps. We'll come and find out. Let's see some other questions.
Let's see.
Some other ones in there.
We go up. Let's see.
Yeah, let's see what we got.
Training wise, Blake asks, what's the number one thing to improve my marathon time? One thing.
I
mean, I'm tempted to say, you know, concentration on getting to the starting line really healthy, as opposed to like getting through a specific plan and a number of mileage. A lot of times, I think it's not the number one thing. It depends on who you are, right? But I would say that's one of the things that I find people screw up on the most, which is they're adhering to a plan despite what their body is telling them, despite what listening to like an ache or a pain that's happening. They're just driving forward on, hey, I got this spreadsheet. And we don't talk about this enough, I think, which is that our plans are like they're video based. They're very different than a spreadsheet. We kind of give you guidance, but the main point that we try to get across without really saying it is that we're trying to educate you on how to train yourself. So it is supposed to be a flexible plan so that you can say, okay, cool, I'm not feeling 15 miles on my long run day. I'm going to take a little bit of an easy day, and like I'm going to listen to my body before I adhere to the mileage. So I would say the number one thing is, use a plan. If you don't have a specific coach, use definitely our plan if you want to, but I would say listen to your body and focus first on arriving at the starting line healthy, as opposed to just arriving, or some people don't even get there because they get injured. So
yeah, and I think a way to think about it that's helpful is running economy. And what's packed in with running economy is both mechanical efficiency, that your body is running in a way that's aligned, that minimizes wear and tear and damage and injuries, but is also physiologically efficient, meaning that your body's running in a way that you are using less oxygen, less energy expenditure per the same mile speed. And the key thing for the marathon, it's not necessarily who runs the fastest, but it's like who slows down the least. Yep. I mean, last week, it was the 2-hour marathon in 23 seconds, which was incredible. 26 seconds.
They will count every one.
They will count every single one.
For a full marathon, and you're down to the second. I mean, like the fact that a lot of people, if they run a marathon, if they just try a little harder, they could knock 26 seconds off in the last mile. But
you know what's kind of crazy about this? Slight side note. This is something I learned reading Mario Fraioli's Morning Shakeout newsletter, which I always read. You guys should definitely check that out. But when they actually designed the course, there is a recommendation from, I don't know who was the governing body for this, to make sure the course was official. They say to put in a little safeguard to make sure that the course doesn't end up being short. They added was it 1 extra meter for every 1,000 meters that they ran.
Wow.
So they ended up running 26.215 miles or something. And when they look at the like additional distance, and then they look at the 25 seconds, they're like, oh, did he actually really break it or not?
No.
So close. But they did that because they wanted to make sure that the course didn't end up going short, but in the process, to be safe, they made it technically a little long.
I think
how crazy.
That just kind of brings up the other point about marathons, which is that the advice on getting, what's the number one tip for your marathon running, like it's so different depending on what type of runner you are. If you are running a 2:45, 2:30 marathon, like our or like one of our coaches, Dr. Kyle Bowling, ran a sub 250 with 247.
Yeah.
And he's run in the 240s a number of times, and like his advice for having his best race is very different than somebody who's running a 3:30 or a 4:30 or a 5-hour marathon. So it really, I mean, there's not one good solution, but for the majority of our runners, what Nate said, talking about running efficiency really is a huge thing. And speaking of that, I want to address this question right here.
Oh yeah, Diana.
So Diana says, and I want to just kind of go in general on this, because she's saying, hey, I got a strong nagging pain when I run downhill. It's just below the knee on the left side. Oh yeah, sorry, we're going. You guys, you can see us. Hold on one second. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. That's so much better.
So Diana says, I get this nagging pain. First of all, there's a lot of you guys out there. All of us deal with different pains. It's really difficult for us to diagnose you based on like an email, or diagnose you based on like a short amount of text. Diana, one, thank you for signing in. Really appreciate the question. It's really hard for us to diagnose it. That being said, Kyle Bowling is actually in the house as well. I saw him commenting earlier.
What's up, Kyle? Dr. Kyle.
Dr. Kyle. So he works with us, and we can do a one-on-one session with you, which would get into the problem. If you go on our website under training plans, just go to injury consultation, and you can sign up. It is a paid thing, but it's very hard, especially at that price point, to find somebody who's an running injury specialist, the way that Dr. Bowling is. So strongly encourage you to follow up with that, and anybody who's dealing with injuries. It's really great to get a healthcare professional, and I know I struggle with this a lot, who knows running. Even when I was running for my college, when we'd have healthcare guys and doctors come in, a lot of times they weren't runners, or they were just like generalists in sports, which is very different than having somebody who is actually a runner and is actually aiming to keep you on the road, keep you running, help you get to that next race, but wants to address the injury. Yeah. So super, super happy to be able to offer that one, because even most of my running career, I've never had that option. So just check out the injury consultation under the training plans part of our website at the Running Experience, and
totally
you can solve it there.
And Dinah, if you are gonna go that route, or just look for more advice online, like, it's helpful to get a little more specific. Below the knee is helpful, but I'm not sure if you mean below the front of the knee or below behind the knee, right? Is this more of a calf thing or hamstring thing? Yeah. Or is this something that's more, in the quad or front of the shin? So specifying those things is helpful. Yeah,
and like you can go so many different directions with that kind of diagnosis, and that's why it's kind of hard to really dig in without having, with Dr. Bowling, he'll go through, like, it's a video conference, so he'll go through a bunch of exercises with you and that sort of thing. So, Lise, hi from New Zealand.
What's up? How are you
doing? This is great. We should talk about the New South Wales Athletic Club.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so Lise, I don't know if you know about the New South Wales Athletic Club, but
are they in New Zealand?
No, but they're in Australia, isn't it? About the same. No, I'm not gonna say that.
Don't say that.
So
scratch that.
The problem is that I thought
you've been up too long.
Yeah, no, I've been up for like a normal amount of time. There's the New South Wales Athletic Club. So even if you're in New Zealand, like, they have a great resource, and we just started working with them, and they're like, we have lots of runners, and they love our stuff, so we are going to be working and partnering with them, and they're going to be like pushing out some of our information, which means any of you guys that have running clubs, email us, and we're happy to provide some of our running content for you guys. Like, our goal here is to spread our message about running healthfully as far and wide as possible. So if we can help you out, if you're like a high school coach, we're trying to figure out stuff for that, for kids and stuff. So if you want to email us, help at the Running Experience, we would love to work with more running clubs.
Definitely. I was just filming with Holly down at Kezar, and I was watching the different tracks. I know. Craig, what can we do? Yeah, that's true. Look at the map. So Craig has this map right behind, and he's got these little pins, and you can actually see back here that he's been to multiple places in Australia.
Oh, it's true.
It's true.
It's been a long time.
He's a little dehydrated. He needs more yogurt water.
Another happy tip: glass of water before I go to bed. Glass of water after I get up.
Lemon squeeze, yes or no?
Those are without lemon.
Those without the lemon.
Okay, so this is becoming like a section of our show called Craig's Random Nutrition. I won't call them tips, but things that I do. So if you cook, like I cook chicken and stuff like that, I always get lots of lemons because I don't like using the little squeeze bottle thing. I think it tastes horrible. So I buy lemons, and inevitably I don't cook enough that week, and so the lemons are left over. What I do is I squeeze them out. I have one of those little compressor things into ice cube trays, and then I have ice cubes that are lemon, and then I just chuck those in my water. It makes it delightful and very tasty to drink.
It sounds so delightful.
I don't even remember what lemonade was like, because to me this is lemonade now, and no sugar, tastes good. I have a Soda Stream, so you put a little Soda Stream, put the lemon.
What is a hot day? I feel like we could get a little Soda Stream lemon water after this.
We weren't, we're almost. I could go get one.
We could go get one almost. We could almost get one.
You can. We should we basically have a drink every time we have a show.
I think we should.
Water. Okay. So you answer the next questions. Here, I'll put you back on our YouTube comments.
There we go.
All right.
I'm taking over.
You guys gonna get to see.
I'm taking over control. There we go.
We're
gonna see these lemon cubes and everything else in place. Guys, once you're coming in, throw some questions out here. We are here to help you out. We're on for another 15 minutes or so. Garland asks, what about lactate threshold training? Does any of your programs incorporate that into the training? Garland, absolutely. In fact, our 30-day challenge starts with a 30-minute test, which is a great test to approximate your lactate threshold, heart rate, and average. And well-trained, this would be what your 10K pace would be, or something you could hold 45 minutes to an hour or so. So a hard 30-minute effort is going to be a great way to approximate that. I came from the triathlete world for a while where these guys liked actually training with heart rate. Interestingly enough, a lot of runners don't necessarily train with heart rate alone. They just go on pace. But I could use the pace from that 30 minutes, and I could use a little calculator, and that could help me determine sort of what my zones are. And then I could do tempo efforts based around that. And for our half marathon and marathon programs, we do a lot of progressive stuff there. Are we ready with the lemon ice cubes and everything? Oh, careful of the cord there. Good. So we definitely do a little bit of that.
All right.
Let's see here. Hello from St. David's in Wales. What's up, sir? UK small city. Oh, that's so cool. Did my first run incorporating your warm-up and after run stretches. So cool.
Awesome. Good to hear that. All right, so we're talking about lemon water.
Yeah, I think you guys need to
see.
Is this going to mess things up? He doesn't want to do that.
There we go.
Oh, yeah, that got all wobbly.
So
Here are the lemon cubes.
this is the lemon cubes. Can you see that? And I've just squeezed lemon juice into my cubes. I prefer silicone trays. If you're wondering, they're great because you pop it out. Pop out a lemon cube. I'll drop one into each glass.
Look at that.
And then we have
Lemon
like
water.
so.
Shazam.
And then I will
Boom.
pour out
A little fizzy water.
a little fizzy water.
Oh, this is so great. I'm feeling a little parched.
Are you feeling a little parched?
I'm feeling a little parched.
I don't want that. We can't have you feeling parched.
No.
This is the talent over here.
There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Lemon ice cube.
There you go.
Hey.
Cheers.
Beautiful. Cheers. Oh, that tastes lovely.
It's great.
Oh, that is so good and
as
refreshing.
lemon melts, you can add more water. Gets more lemony.
I love that. This is such a great idea.
All right, guys. So that is last week. It was yogurt whey. This week it's lemon fizzy water.
Next week, we're going to be in New York.
Oh, we're not gonna do. Okay, so we can't do a live show next week, but tune in 2 weeks.
Or can we?
Maybe we'll announce whether we can do it or not because we're gonna be in New York and they're gonna be like a tight. I think Thursday's filming day.
It's going to be camera boot camp.
Yep.
So we're going to be hitting it hard.
But next time on our next live show, we might do green smoothies, in which we can just keep going down the smoothie route for a while.
Totally. So more questions here.
So
St. David's Pilates asks, do you have any good psoas stretches? Yes. So there's a few different ways you could attack this. We actually have something, a little strategy we've learned called gut smashing, where you would take a ball. Here, hold on. Let me grab this thing.
Okay.
You're going to take a ball like so. This is one of our favorite toys. It's actually an older yoga tune-up ball, so it's a little soft. It's got some give. And what you're going to do is...
Just to be clear, you can do this with a softball. You could do it with a
100%.
A kid's little, like, what do you call those little, inflatable
toy
balls you get for
things.
$2 at Walgreens. You can do it with a lot of different things. You soccer ball, whatever it is.
And basically you're going to lay on it. And the area that I like to go is, either side of your belly button as a place to start, just by a couple inches. You go from one side over to the other, and you are going to just breathe into it. And that's a way to help get that psoas release. And a great way to do it is actually to breathe into the ball, hold for about 4 seconds. So you're going to inhale for 4, you're going to hold for 4 seconds, and then you're going to slowly exhale for 8.
Okay.
And it's a cool strategy. I actually learned that taking Kelly Starrett's new mobility WOD course that was in person. We went through a bunch of really cool stuff in the training course. And so that breathing strategy I found was really helpful in terms of getting to release. You could lay with that ball on a table or a bench if the flat ground doesn't work as well. That's a great way to get that to release.
So we have. Let's see. You talked about the lactate threshold.
We did that. We see you guys use ice baths. Yes. I love ice baths. Cold
I don't
showers.
personally, because I don't have a bathtub. I have a shower. Life living in the city.
Oh,
But
bummer,
I would,
brah.
I would for sure.
So I think the ice baths can do a few different things. At one level, especially on a hot day, it just helps bring down core body temperature faster.
Yep.
It can help with that little recovery. If there's any little lingering sense sort of inflammation, that can just cool you right off real quick. This is very different, though, from icing acute specific muscles, right? Like icing your knee or icing your calf, which we're really learning now is not the best way to fast track our recovery.
Yeah. You know what I'm realizing? Next week we definitely can do a show. We'll do a show and we'll show you where we are on YouTube. I really do want to do that. We're gonna be at the Creator Space, so it'll be a short abbreviated show. But tune in next week, same time, Thursday, 12 o'clock Pacific time, and we will definitely we'll show you where we're at because it's gonna be pretty cool with all the sets and stuff. And
this is gonna be cool. You guys are gonna geek out with us. This is gonna be amazing.
100%. Cool.
What does it say? James says, "Love the run experience. We love you too." What else we got here?
So I want to talk about people ask so many questions all related to the training club. So let's talk about it a little bit. Let me just bring up a window.
Yeah.
And then
We'll finish off here.
Yeah, absolutely.
So guys, if you're just tuning in, this is our regular live show where we get to connect with you, answer your questions on anything from running and strength and injury prevention. You get to learn about Craig's latest nutritional
We gotta have another word, not advice. It's nutritional
things,
musings,
musings,
Yes.
if you will, that are not what you would normally see.
Right. I mean, but I'm cutting edge. I mean, you think that you haven't heard about lemon water and high-fat yogurt, and just wait.
So good.
It's so good.
That's so good.
You always are doubtful, but then you come around. So
That's my personality. It's not you.
you want a team where there's one tester and one like checker. That's how it works. That's how it works. Okay, let me see if I can get this up here and running. So there's that, and then
What are we going after here? We're gonna go
just
after.
kinda show them about the training club. And then
Yeah. So guys, we love putting out videos out there that are super helpful, and you guys love watching them, which is really cool. Some of you guys are actually looking to train with us and maybe didn't even know that that was a possibility.
Yeah.
But it is. Good news for you.
Yeah, if you guys are on a YouTube channel and you're always seeing all the stuff we put out, there's a way that we can, get one-on-one help. There's a way that you can get, all of our coaching, access to our coaches, forums. I know a lot of you guys, like Lee, they're super active in our forums. And some of the best things that we've done is be able to get runners together and like have them both have help from us and help from each other. So, all right, I'm going to just switch this over, and then we will go live with that window.
Yeah, so now you guys are going to see this. Hey, can you figure out the cool picture in picture? We're in the corner.
No,
Is that
not right now.
Not right now. Okay, you gotta shoot for the stars, and sometimes you just land on the moon.
Next week. Okay, so for you guys that don't know, we offer a number of ways you can work with us. The weekly running tune-up is $10 a month, and we give you 3 workouts come out every Sunday. A lot of people are actually in both the training club and the weekly tune-up. The training club is our main training program. So basically, you get access to all of the programs we've created over the last 3 years. The beginner running program, the 30-day challenge, both those are 30 days. The half marathon program, it's 2 months. Run Fitness Formula is like a 2-week kind of quick dive if you ever want to like dive in there and get more workouts. And then the marathon program, which is 16 weeks. And these are the prices if you buy them individually, which you can. And these are all the programs and the pages for that. But the training club, we purposely, have tried to make this as affordable and doable as possible. You get in at any time. There's no obligation. You can join for as long as you want. And you can actually, as of hopefully tomorrow, you'll be able to manage all your own account stuff and jump in, jumping out whenever you want. Yeah. So, super easy to sign up. And then,
I know what's cool about this, guys, too, is like we're always adding new stuff to this. Kirk, our Colorado coach extraordinaire, was out with us a couple weeks ago. Was that almost a month ago?
And I also created a coupon code, and we'll keep it live. I know some people are going to watch this replay, so we'll keep it live for a couple hours after this show. It's all in 20. I don't know if I can. I can't write it up on the screen right now and do this at the same time, but all in 20, ALLIN 20, and it gives you 20% off on both the weekly running tune-up and in the training club.
Oh, dang, that's a good deal.
Yeah.
Guys, you could either just sign up for the monthly, or you could do the annual at the training club, and you could save even more there.
When you sign up for the 20% off, it gives you that 20% off for as long as you stay in the program, and then so you can keep it for as long as you want. But I want to tell you what all these people are asking questions around. How do I train for marathon? So this is our solution, because this is what we've been working on for a long time. Let's pause that. The training club has all of our programs, and we literally have had thousands of people go through these programs now. If you're in our weekly tune-up Facebook group, or you've done a program with us, that there's thousands of people that have trained with us already. And this is the community page. So a lot of you guys don't see this if you haven't joined the training club. This is what you'll see once you join. And these are all of our programs. We'll send you a login, and you get access to all this stuff over here, which is you can kind of dive in, and each program, this is also accessible on our mobile app, so you can just get on your phone. But if you dive into any of these programs, you'll see, let's see, I might have to, oh boy, I can't log in right now because, let me see about something else. Hold on one second. I will try to log in here.
So we're going to log in to try to give you a little sneak peek.
I can't log in with everybody watching. Otherwise, then I'll have to change my password.
Oh, no. We can't do that. We got to keep that, we got to keep that ship shape. There we go.
Oh, you know what? Okay, hold on.
We'll have that there. But anyway, we got the question earlier, too, of like, hey, what would we have tell ourselves as beginner runners?
All right, here we go. Now
this is basically what it is, right? This is the stuff we'd want us to do.
So let's say, which one should we go to? Maybe the beginner runner program?
Sure.
Oops. There we go. All right. So these are all the programs. We have a nutrition challenge that's coming up. So we do those frequently. That's only for people in our training club, which you can describe we had the breakfast club.
Smoothies.
So we had 30 days of like, our thing with nutrition is it's all about habits, and we want you to create new habits. So we try to create these challenges where the point is not to go on an extreme diet for that 30 days. The point is to develop a new habit that you can continue. And we attacked breakfast as the first meal and kind of like challenging you to like incorporate more nutrition into smoothies in your breakfast. We gave you a lot of recipes and kind of had a group motivation to kind of go through the 30 days together. And we have a new one coming up. Hopefully here in the next month or so. And if you join now, you can join in on that as well. What else do we have here?
We have our strength program that should be released hopefully soon in the next month or two.
Yeah, so this is an example of the big beginner program. We give you like access to all these things every day. You sign in here, and it's a new workout and a new video. And the reason we have videos is because a lot of the things we talk about, we don't tell you just go run 3 miles. We tell you exactly like what we want you to do. So I just happened to jump in on a strength training day. So this page is really slow because we're streaming
a million things.
Yeah. But you can see that we have warm-ups. We go through each of the movements. And this is what people talk about if you ever hear people talking about our programs, the thing that they like is that the fact that we give you guidance on each of the things that we ask, and it's not just left to your own. And then, of course, we have a VIP forum for people who are in the training club, and then you can join that, ask questions. We try to make this a program that is both flexible, that is doable if you want to just take it and do it on your own, but also give you resources if you want to ask one of us or any number of our coaches and other runners, honestly. Like now, I've had so many people that have gone through this that a lot of other runners will help you out, same as they are in the forums right now on this live broadcast.
Yeah. Well, guys, that's the deal. So definitely check that out. That little code there that we're trying to hook you guys up with today is all in 20.
How do I? Okay, so to get to it, you go to, let's see. So if you just go to training plans right here on our website, So if you go to our website, therunexperience.com, and go to training plans, you will see, or click this button right here, you'll see the options here. You click into this, and then when you check out, there'll be a spot. And let me see if I can put that code on the screen somewhere.
Here we go.
Hold on one moment.
Yeah, why don't you do that? There we go. We're gonna put the new number on this here, just so you guys can see that.
This is not the easiest thing to do here.
No.
20% off.
All in 20. Is it all in 20?
Yeah.
20? There we go. There we go.
And then I gotta disregard that. Shoot that over. There we go.
There we go. So that's live now, and you can see that and come check this thing out with
and
us.
That's not for the t-shirts, despite what that says. I'm gonna take that off for a second. Let's see. There we go.
There
Not
we
for
go.
t-shirts. So this is the promo code is for the training club. So all in 20 will get you 20% off, and we will keep that live. What, till the end of the day today?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll keep it live to the end of the day. And for you guys that are watching this on replay, appreciate you tuning in.
Definitely.
And what else we got? Is that it?
I think that's it. Should we say
We're right on the hour, Alex.
right on the hour?
Yeah.
Awesome, guys. Well,
Guys-
thanks again for tuning in.
If you're just getting to the end, come see us in New York. Check out our Facebook page. There's an event there. Tuesday, we're going to be doing a 5:30 run. If you're in that area at all, we'll be doing more of them around the country, hopefully in the near future. So email us if that's of interest to you. And the training club, obviously, we always love for you guys to join us in your training. And check out our YouTube channel if you haven't done that already. And we will see you next week, same time, noon, which will be 3 o'clock on the East Coast.
That's right.
3 p.m. PST on Thursday, or noon Pacific time. And we'll see you at the episode 3. We're already in episode 3.
Already episode 3. All right, guys. Thanks again. We will see you online.